Hey guys, project-zodiac here. I'm back with another video, and as you can see, this is another movie review, and it's one that I'm super excited for because it's one of my favorite series. So for right now, I'll be reviewing all of the How to Train Your Dragon movies in anticipation for the new live-action remake coming out, and I'm just so excited for that one. So with all that said, this is my review on the first How to Train Your Dragon movie. It's gonna be spoiler free for this first section, and then I'll explain when it's gonna be spoiler when I'm giving my more in-depth thoughts. So with all that said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I have a lot to say about this movie, but mostly I'm gonna have a lot more to say about the third one. Spoilers, that one's my favorite. So for the How to Train Your Dragon movie, the first one, it's such a heartwarming movie. It's kind of like about a boy and his dog, but instead of a dog, it's a dragon, and I love it. I love it so much. Right when the movie came out, I immediately related to Hiccup. With him and his dragon is like me and my dog. So in many ways, like the quirkiness, the liking to explore and see and learn a whole bunch of things, all of those kinds of stuff I like, and also just being very different from everyone else and scrawny and yeah, all of that. So I can always relate to Hiccup a lot. And just the story itself is just, it's simple, but it's so nice. It's just so I don't want to say emotional, but it's so reflective, I think is the best way to say. And it's just really about, you being yourself amongst everyone else who does not expect you to be acting that way. They want you to be a certain way. And then you kind of prove to everyone that you being you is the best way. So that's the best way I can explain this story. Um, and yeah, it's just really cool. The animation is so beautiful for this movie. I'm sure just about everyone says that. Uh, the flying scenes is fantastic. The movie in 3D too is just amazing. I do remember that the How to Train Your Dragon movies, all of them in 3D, is so good. DreamWorks really did a fantastic job on that. And then just the characters themselves, they're all super likable. Um, and also just the story is super likable, but also very mature. Um, it really is about you kind of coming to be yourself. And as I mentioned, and there's a whole lot of, like, especially at the end, there's just a couple of mature things where DreamWorks isn't really too afraid to show some consequences of things. And I think that that was done really well. Uh, but yeah, I mean, there isn't too much I can say without going into whole details. This movie truly is beautiful in every way. The characters are amazing. And the music. The music in this movie is iconic. Like just the main score itself, as soon as you hear it, it's just so adventurous, so fun, so creative, and it just screams the essence of that world. So I love it so much. The dragon designs are really good. And it's just really interesting to see these Vikings going to school to learn how to kill dragons. But then, obviously, as the title says, Hiccup decides to not kill a dragon, he decides to train a dragon. And like I said, it's just a story of a boy and his dragon, and it's so cute. Hiccup is one of the best things ever. He's just, oh, not Hiccup, sorry. Toothless, the dragon, is one of the best things ever. Toothless is just so cute and so funny. Um, there's this scene where he's kind of drawing in the sand, and it's just so adorable, and um, just the way he laughs. Like, Toothless is just one of the best movie characters ever made. I love that dragon. But yeah, guys, that's my just quick general thoughts on the movie. I want to go into a little bit more of a spoilers now. So if you don't want spoilers, I mean, the movie is a couple years old now, about 10 years old now. So if you don't want spoilers, I recommend just going to watch this movie. It's a great movie for everyone, all ages, and it's just so nice. But if you don't mind spoilers, or if you've seen it and you want to know my in-depth thoughts, welcome to this section. So yeah, this movie is amazing. One of the best things that I can say about it, going from what I was explaining earlier, is the maturity with it. The fact that they have Toothless arguing with his dad and arguing with everyone else and just trying to show them that the world needs to change, that dragons aren't bad. I think that that's really relatable in many ways because that's how I am too. You know, I try to show people a lot of times where they're explaining and thinking of something in the wrong way, and you know later on they understand what I'm trying to explain and then they fix it. So I think that that's very, very special and very important that this movie tackles and handles. You know, like trying to understand that sometimes the world needs to change and see things from a different point of view. And also that sometimes it's okay that if you aren't the one that everyone else is, you know, like following the crowd, that you're different. I love that. So that's why I could relate to Hiccup a lot with him, like wanting to not kill dragons or wanting to try to fit in, but he sees that he just can't kill a dragon, and that he actually cares about them and wants to train them and work with them and be friends with them. I think that that is so beautifully done, and it really reflects a lot of things about society in general too. Another thing too really is just how his dad is so excited because his dad goes away for a couple of weeks, and then that's when Hiccup is learning about dragons. So in the school he's kind of like just, you know, kind of just like everyone is thinking that he has a specific way with the dragons, but they don't realize that it's him just treating the dragons like living things, and understanding what they like and don't like. So I thought that was really interesting, and it's so nice to see everyone like start to acknowledging Hiccup, and he's just very confused because he's always been the one that everyone wants to stay away from. So when his dad comes home after a few weeks, and then he's like just so excited, and then and gives him, you know, the hat and everything, and Toothless, not Toothless, sorry, Hiccup, it's just like I have no idea how to react. Like I want to tell you that I'm not killing a dragon, that I'm actually adopting a dragon. So like I just thought that was really interesting, and then when Estrid finds out about Toothless and just the flying sequence with that, I think it was so good. And her just coming to understand him and you know trusting Hiccup. I think that that was really, really, really well done. And yeah, their relationship is done really well, and it just gets better with each movie. Obviously over here they're about 15, 16. Um, so you know it's definitely the start of their relationship, and I think it was done really, really good. Um, I also love the just, you know, Toothless in general, like how he's dancing around with the stick to draw and then gets mad at Hiccup whenever Hiccup steps on one of the lines. When he just like flicks his ear to hit Hiccup when they're flying. It's just like their relationship, Hiccup and Toothless's relationship, is just so cute and so loving and so realistic, and that's why I said like it reminds me of me and my dog, because um, a lot of times me and my dog are just playing like that, and um, just like my dog is literally just like Toothless. When when it's like strangers around, he's like all aggressive. But then when it's with people that he knows and loves, he's literally the sweetest, most adorable thing ever. And he just wants you to be belly rubbing him. He just wants to run around and play. He just wants to lay down. And he also has like, well, his mom had a little bit more of an attitude, but he's like, if he doesn't want to put up with you, he's just gonna be laying down. And yeah, he has his own very unique personality, and the way that he is when he's excited, he's just like Toothless. The way that he is when he's defensive or mad, he's just like Toothless. So yeah, the I've said this in a couple of other reviews recently, like the Lilo and Stitch review, how Stitch reminds me of my dogs. That's just because they do. They, a lot of these characters are really reminding me of my dogs in so many ways, and it just shows that they're very, very strong with their personalities. And that's something too that this movie shows that I really love, is that like animals all have their unique personalities, And a lot of people just take that for granted. And no, but every dog is unique, just like every, not just every dog, sorry, every animal is unique, just like every person. They all have their little annoyances, the things that they don't like, the things that they don't mind. Like they're all just unique. And I love that. And it's fun when you're able to be with them yourself and knowing how they are too. So you'll know like what will annoy them, you know what won't. It's just part of your family, and I think it's special. And that's what this movie is. It's really just the start of that, of Hiccup and Toothless showing the world that dragons and humans can be friends and family. And I love that he even shows his dad that, and his dad is like, okay, yeah, I guess I was wrong. But as I said, I do really like that this movie does have some more mature themes. I did mention about like him arguing with the village and everything like that, but also at the end, like they're not afraid to show some scary moments with Hiccup and his dad, and Hiccup drowning, and then Toothless drowning too, and then his dad deciding to save Toothless. Like there's a lot of things here that really, really, really shows maturity. So it's things that anyone can watch. But especially the very ending with Toothless saving Hiccup, but us seeing that Hiccup's leg is gone, or well, half of his leg is gone. And I thought when I first saw that, I really remember just being shocked. I knew something happened to Hiccup because obviously, Gunther, I think is his name, I forget, his dad's friend, when they find Toothless, he's like, whoa, you saved him, most of him at least. So we know that something happened to Hiccup. I wasn't sure if he lost his waist. That's what I originally thought happened, but I was happy to see him having his legs. I'm like, oh, so then what happened? And then we see him putting his other leg down. I'm like, oh, okay, so he didn't lose his waist and both his legs, but he did lose one of them. So I thought that was pretty emotional, and I do think too that Hiccup handles that pretty well. I do think it was a little bit rushed, that part, because he's just like, okay, he just takes like a breath and he's like, oh, all right, and then he just gets up and he's just fine. So I think they needed to give that a little bit more of that weight to it, and he even jokes after saying like, I might make some modifications to it. So I do think they should have just left a little bit more of a moment for him to process not having half a leg anymore. Um, but I do really think that they still handled everything else about this movie really well. So guys, this movie is a masterpiece. It isn't my favorite of the trilogy, right? My favorite, as I said, is part three, episode not episode three, the third movie, and that movie is, I cried in that movie. But in this one, it's still something that ever since I saw it, because I was the same age as Hiccup, so ever since I saw it, I just immediately felt really connected, and it really resonated a lot with me. So yeah, guys, that's my thoughts on How to Train Your Dragon. I'm so excited for the live action remake. Um, and I'm so excited to talk with you guys about the other two movies. So let me know what you think about this movie in the description, or not the description, sorry, the comments. Please rate the video, please like the video, and please subscribe so that way, it helps getting more people to see the videos. This is YouTube. I shouldn't have to be saying that. Every single video says that. So just, if you like the video, please like it. If you have something that you want to say or add, please add. I'll try to respond to it. And yeah, if you like the video, just please subscribe as well. So with all that said, guys, rate, comment, subscribe. I'll talk to you later. Have a good day.